Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christopher, and like usual, I haven't done these in a while, and well, I'm going to speak from my own little business orientation, which is God, Mind, and Fitness, with your host, Chris West. Here, I'm going to get into this because I think a lot of people need to hear it, but a lot of people need to really understand why fitness is such a great outlet, great thing to aspire to join or to keep doing. And if anybody knows me, and especially if anybody's been around me, I'm very positive. I'm very optimistic about fitness. I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing it since I was 13, 14 years old, when I was just a little peon, when I was just a little teenager in middle school, transitioning into high school. And I had a lot of good mentors in my life that were very fit oriented, and who have taught me and trained me, but then, allowing my ego to get involved and failing miserably at the same time. It's been 20 years. I'm 33 years old now. I was 13 when I started. It's been 20 years. That's insane that I can say that, right? 20 years that I've been in that fitness mindset, that fitness realm, or keeping that fitness in my lifestyle. And not always was it, hunky-dory and positive. I've been down roads of destruction with depression, anxiety, and not going to the gym, and coming and going and feeling like crap and beating myself up. And one of the things I love seeing is no matter who it's coming from, one of the things I love seeing is when someone realizes, when they're in the gym, when they're at the fitness studio, when they're making a change for their lifestyle, they realize, man, fitness isn't just picking things up and putting them down, and I always have to elaborate once they realize that, because it usually comes about in the middle of a workout, and they say to me, man, you have to think a lot through these movements. And I love that, because it gives me this opportunity to set this seed in them, and that says, yeah, because if you just put things down, pick them up and put them down, that's a kind of a Marine Corps thing. If you pick things up and put them down, you can get a lot done, because everybody can move and everybody can pick things up and put them down. But what you can't do, not many people do, is think through their motion. Think through the motions. Think through the motions of your body, what your body's doing, how it's moving, why it's moving that way. Thinking with your muscles in that workout at the time, like say I'm doing a bicep curl. I'm focusing on rolling my shoulders back, keeping my back almost pinched, just because I want to emphasize when I'm doing that bicep. Let's just talk about regular bicep curl. We are curling with the bicep, not in the shoulder. Why is my front delts hurting? Well, you're kind of leaning forward. You're kind of throwing your weight up. Sometimes, right? I'm not a big advocate of always dropping the weight. Sometimes heavier weight is not always a good thing. Sometimes time and attention and actually going through the motion is going to compound and be a more benefit to you than throw in an extra 5 pounds just because you look stronger, right? Oh, I could do 35, 40-pound dumbbells, but yet you're freaking kipping like a maniac, and you're getting more injured. One of the things I learned growing up as a kid, and I only learned this probably 8 years ago after I got so many injuries, was taking the time to slow down, right? Slow down in the movements, slow down, not necessarily picking up all the weight all the time, figuring out why in this movement is my shoulders hurting me in a way that it's increasing the pain. Not hurting like fatigue or trembling from fatigue of workout. I'm talking about pain. Why is pain increased here? And I started to really think and mindfully be aware of what my body was telling me. And I think one of the greatest things I've ever learned was allowing myself to slow down, but at the same time giving myself rest, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the way I program myself. Is I actually do 6 to 8 week programs, and I give that little 2 to 3 week window, 6, 7, 8 week, right? 3 week window. If at the beginning of the 6th week, right, or like say midway through the 6th week, I keep a journal so I know which week I'm on, and when I go on the workout, I'm tallying everything I'm doing every single day. But one of the things I do is in my own program, and I think I suggest this for everybody, is on your own journey in fitness, take the time to take a rest. So my rests entail this, ready? I will work out 6 to 8 weeks in total. I'm 33 years old now. I'm not saying that's like an age thing. It could be an age thing. It could be your body thing. You have to understand your body. You have to know what benefits you the most. Some people do 10 to 12 weeks, all right, or 12 to 14 weeks. Figure out what timing is good for you. I think 6 to 8 weeks is good for me to assess what I'm doing, how my program's working, have I gained muscle, have I gained a little strength, whatever that is, right? And so what I do is I'm actually in the middle of my rest week. Well, not really the end of it. It's almost to the end of it, actually, not the middle. So I work out again starting Monday and I create another program for myself. But it'll probably be similar, but I'll change up workouts and stuff. But what I do is, so after the 6th or 8th week, what happens is I start to assess my body really heavily. I actually do this quite often, not just on the 6th and 8th week, but about that time, I really more notice it. Oh man, I'm getting more pain in my shoulder. Oh, I'm getting more pain in my hip. I'm getting more pain in my ankle. I'm getting more pain in mainly the main points that give me pain, I'll focus on. But it's really when I'm sleeping and stuff like that. So when I'm sitting down, when I'm driving, my pain is like so much where I'm like having to take pain medication like ibuprofen or medicine to keep me from getting inflammation too much. I realized to myself that, okay, this week is that, like say the last time, for example, just the reason I'm on my week now this time, the 7th week, going into my 8th week, everything was good. But it was until the beginning of the 8th week, I was like, ooh, I might have did something that week prior, or I couldn't get to sleep. I was rolling a lot when I was sleeping. That is that moment of me saying to myself, taking a few moments to assess, is that pain just from the working out, or is this like damaging pain? If I keep going, will it add more damage to what my body has already endured, right? So I think everybody has to do that. So I got to a point where I couldn't sleep. Pain was at those target points that are consistent with my pain that I've endured with, and I had to assess and say, nope, I'm going to stop working out. So I don't change my eating habit. I don't change really my intake of my protein, maybe a little bit, but what I still do is I actually step away from weight training, but I still do like a little bit of cardio. What I do though on that rest week is I do a lot of stretching. And what's funny is, and what I usually what usually ends up happening as a result is on the beginning of that 3 or 4 days in the beginning of this week when I'm stretching more, I'm hurting. I'm hurt, like in the pain, like the pain places. I'm hurting everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, it's getting worse. And it usually happens. And I know that's what I mean. It's getting better. I feel it's starting to heal up. And so I encourage you, when you're at the gym, and you're hurting, you've been doing this for 13 weeks like a crazy man, crazy woman, stop. Give yourself a rest. Take a week off. Know that is part of your program, right? Don't take a rest and then, don't go back into the workout. That rest week is part of your routine. That is part that you decided in your life. So you've been doing this for 20 years, like I have been. That means in that week, that program, that is not a time for you to eat whatever you want, do whatever you want to do. It's very controlled. You're probably stretching more. Maybe you're doing light weights at the gym. Maybe you're adding a little bit more cardio. Maybe you're doing calisthenics. Maybe you're doing just different stuff. Maybe yoga. You're doing different stuff that's going to help you get back into the gym, pushing if you're a weight trainer. Get back into the gym and continue working out, all right? I highly advise everyone figure that out for yourself. If you need a personal trainer, I'm your guy. But if you have other personal trainers around you, I'm telling you right now, get into their heads, figure out what they do, why do they look good, why are they consistent, why are they so disciplined, figure out what it is, figure out in the end too what works for you, because what I do is not going to work for you. What Billy next to you, your friend next to you, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever that works for them is not going to work for you. You have to figure it out for yourself. Have someone help you do it. But I wholeheartedly encourage you. One thing I will leave with you guys is stop comparing yourself to other people. That I'm telling you right now is going to be the giant joy stealer of a lot of fitness goals, a lot of fitness outcomes. Because what you're going to do is if you're not fit, you're going out to a beach today because it's nice and warm, You're comparing to the lady next to you, compared to the guy next to you. He has bigger muscles. She's more toned than I am. If you look that way and you compare yourself, that is such a joy stealer. You're going to defeat yourself before you even start. Get out there, feel good about what you're doing. Make sure you have a goal. What is your goal? I want more strength. I want to look toned. There's a workout for that. Hey, I want more strength. I'm a guy. I want to be bigger. I want to have bigger muscles. There's results and goals for that. You have to understand why you're working out, what you're working out for, and if you want to make it a lifestyle, make it a discipline, not just a motivation. I love you guys. This is God Minded Fitness with your host, Chris West. God bless you guys. Have a good day.